Why did I come to permaculture bootcamp? That's it? Okay. All right, so yeah, I've been looking for community for quite some time. So I've known about permaculture and specifically Paul through his podcasts for several years, but never really took any concrete steps to like make it happen in my life. And when I learned about boot camp, like what it had to offer and what the deal was, it just seems like the right fit. And after being here for more than 3 months, I'd say it is. Yeah, it's the right fit for me. I get to like build the skills that I have been really like interested in, and like see projects progress, and get all of the things that like I have been thinking about, like food systems and natural building, but it's right here in front of me, and it's like a playground. So it's really lived up to what I'd hoped it would be. Yeah.
So I chose the boot camp because about a year ago I was looking online, researching different PDCs, and I came across the one that's offered here, and I saw that there was a work trade option, which would be 2 months of being in the boot camp. When I started looking into the boot camp, it just was clear to me how many opportunities are offered here. So I could trade for that event, and now I'm trading for the Garden Master event. I was also really interested in seeing what it's like to live a permaculture life, not just to learn about the principles, but to see what it is like day in and day out, to do the work and see if it's right for me. I was also really interested to see what community is like. I've never lived in community before, and so I kind of wanted to dip my toes in and see if that's something that fits for me. I think another reason is that I'm not someone who's used to a lot of really physical work. I'm not familiar with how to use a lot of tools, how to build, carpentry. I had no experience about a lot of the stuff coming in, and I really wanted to kind of push myself and see what I could learn and what I could be capable of. I would like to build my own home one day, and coming here you definitely learn a lot of skills that build towards doing that. And the option to get a plot after a month to practice on and for it to be yours after 2 years is a pretty sweet deal. And so there's just so much here to offer, in my opinion, and it's been great so far. I've learned a lot, and it's definitely turned out to be, I think, a pretty monumental experience in my life, and I'm glad to be here.
Why did I choose permaculture boot camp at Wheaton Labs? There's like 3 aspects there: permaculture, boot camp, and Wheaton Labs. So I wrote a few notes. At the time, it was about April 2020. I realized I was at my dream job of being a service advisor for auto repair, and I realized that I couldn't be there because the fumes were making me sick. It was like really uncomfortable, and I just kept thinking like, I really wish I could work where I wouldn't be subjected to chemicals. And then another wish I had was a work trade / live-in opportunity. I knew I could work. I knew that I could bring value to the workplace. And I also was kind of looking for a zero commute situation. So I started looking because I said I'm just not gonna work. I don't know where I'm gonna land. but I just can't work here. And it broke my heart because it was my dream job for the longest time. I also wanted to work where I would feel like I was working toward a purpose. And so permaculture, like after finding all these different kinds of jobs and stuff on the internet, it was like no, another desk job, another working to work for money kind of a thing. And then I was just like, I don't even know if I want money anymore, like as long as my work has purpose. And then it kind of came across like working at like a farm or something. I was like, yeah, how about something like that? And then somehow I came across, I don't think I even found permaculture until I found the RMH. And so RMH led me to Permies, which led me to permaculture. And then I was like, wow, that really lines up with my values. That really lines up with working for a purpose, not necessarily money. And then I was also really into like tiny homes. I wanted to live off grid. I wanted to have some animals. I also wanted stewardship. I didn't want ownership. 2 years of work, I can put in effort, I can put in energy. I didn't know if I was strong enough. That was my biggest fear. Like, I've never really worked a physical labor job, like construction or lifting stuff. But I did take strength training in high school. So I knew I was like physically capable of lifting things, but I also knew that I wasn't the strongest person by any means. I wanted to see if I could make it. So I was like, let's see, what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose? What do I have to gain? Why did I choose permaculture, values, boot camp, a challenge, at Wheaton Labs, values? After listening to podcasts, it just seemed like, yeah, it seems like the type of people that I would want to be around. And I think the people thing is such a huge aspect to where you work because you're spending so much time together. Why did I choose this? As opposed to choosing a desk job? I think the choice was made before I even found permaculture boot camp at Wheaton Labs. I just didn't know what it looked like.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a journey to find this place, I guess. I was taking a PDC through Oregon State online and with my partner, and she shared this place with me because she was doing her own research on I guess intentional communities and places in which you can kind of get your hands-on experience in permaculture, and this was one of the places. And so she shared that with me probably a month prior to coming out here. And she ended up actually coming out to rent the Red Cabin as a supper. And pretty much as soon as I dropped her off at the airport, I was just like, what am I doing? Like, I'm just gonna sign up for the boot camp. And it was like the next day that Paul sent out the emails again because there were 2 open spots left. And so I gave it a day to think it over, and yeah, the next day I was just like, all right, I'm gonna send him an email and be like, all right, I'll see you on the 19th. So I had less than 2 weeks to kind of get all my stuff together to come out here. But yeah, that was after the PDC I took, it was kind of difficult finding something that also fit those permaculture principles and also kind of in forms of any kind of work, really. So this work trade opportunity to be here and also learn in the long run was kind of the best choice. And yeah, it's kind of what brought me out here.
If you like this sort of thing, come on out to the forums at permies.com, where we talk about the boot camp, homesteading, and permaculture all the time.